Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the American Dad house. This is the family home that I've made and designed, and I'll tell you what guys, I want to say this nice and early in the video, I had so much fun making this that I would love to do some more cartoon related builds. So if you do have some ideas for what I should make, especially if they're cartoon or maybe even movie related, please do let me know down there in the comment section. I would love to see what you guys think and what I should build next. The highest rated comments will definitely have a higher chance of being made, so bear that in mind. Please, I'd love to see what you guys want me to make next, especially if it is cartoon related. As I said, this was great fun to make and design. Also, if you do enjoy the content, please do remember to like the video. If you like the video, you'll probably like my other stuff. Subscribe to the channel. What have you got to lose? If you subscribe, say hello and click the little bell next to the subscription button. And without any further ado, I think I should probably start this thing because this is going to be quite a long tutorial. I hope that you guys enjoy. So if you want to make it, here's what you'll need. Grab yourself some birchwood planks, some birchwood slabs, some birchwood stairs, some birchwood fence, some oakwood planks, some sprucewood slabs, some blue hardened clay, some light blue hardened clay, and some blue stained glass pane. We will also need all of the other materials that you can see in my inventory right now, and we might even need more as we progress through the build. I am kind of forgetful. You might need to pause the video, grab everything that you see, and once you have all of this stuff, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, and just to let you guys know, this house will fit into a 44 block, that's 44 blocks coming across the front, by a 68 block going towards the back of the house area. This includes the garden. You shouldn't need too much more space than this. If you want, you can make this rectangular shape in your world because it does take up a lot of space, and if you do that, you're going to want to begin on the very front right hand corner of your rectangular shape, which is here. You want to count in from this front right hand corner rectangular point, and you want to count in going backwards by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then you want to go to the left by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you do that, we will then be building in the exact same position within the exact same parameters in both of our worlds. And you want to start this build off with a row of 5 birchwood planks coming up from the ground. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go left of that 5th birchwood plank by 8 with your birchwood slabs. So this is the upper block you're looking for. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Connect that block down to the ground using a mixture of planks and slabs, like this. This is actually going to be a garage door. We can fill it in now, actually. So directly behind this big area that we have here, we want to leaving a gap of 1. So leaving a gap of 1 inside of this big empty space, we want to come backwards and we want to create a row of oakwood planks that sits inside of this empty space that we've made, like this. So it's going to sit inside of this empty space that we've made, like that, right? And now we want to do a row of sprucewood planks directly in front of the center row of oak wood that you've just placed. So we want to do a row of sprucewood planks in front of the middle row of the oak wood, splitting it in half. Then take the bottom sprucewood plank and extend it left and right using your spruce wood slabs, like this. Leave half a row's gap and then do the same thing coming upwards. And then leave another half row gap and do the same thing. So on and so forth until you reach the top of the build. This is the effect that you're looking for. If you like, you can also grab the tripwire hooks that we have in the inventory and place one at the bottom center of the build. That is the garage door complete. Now, once you have that sorted out, we can actually also do the roof of the garage. The roof of the garage is very simple. It's made out of birchwood stairs, and it sits on top of this row of birchwood slabs that we have. So we want to do a row of birch wood stairs on top of the row of birch wood slabs, like this. Then do another row of birch wood stairs on top of your stairs and shrink it by 1 either side. Do the same thing again. And again until you eventually reach a pyramid point, like this. Once you've got that sorted out, that is the garage actually complete. Later on, we will be placing a light blue clay along the sides of these stairs and including on top of that stairs, and this will create the roof of the garage which will eventually feed to the house. You can, if you like, place the light blue hardened clay like I have and extend it 1 row outwards. So it'll end up looking a little something like that. I just thought that that might be easier to do now rather than later. That's the garage, pretty much done. Come all the way to the left hand side of the garage where you connected down to the ground using your birch wood. Take the block that hit the floor and extend it backwards by 6 with your birch wood planks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take that sixth block and extend it over the left of the build by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then place a row of 3 spruce wood planks going left. 1, 2, 3, like that. Then extend up each one of these planks on the left and right, each by 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Connect them together at the top. That is where the actual door will be for the family home. That's the front door where you'll walk in. Take the bottom left hand side of the door, this block, and go left of it by 7. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, go up on top of the last... Okay, so go up on top of this 7th block by 11 with your birchwood plank. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Like this. However, you want to take the first block in that row of 11, and you want to go right of it using your blue stained glass pane by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then do another row on top of it. Like this. Then take the middle 3 blocks and do a row of 3 glass on top of the 3 middle blocks, like this. If you like, you can then proceed to just fill the side of the window in with your birchwood planks like that. Now, you also want to take the 11th block that you have using your birchwood, and you want to go right of this 11th block by 1 with your birchwood planks, go down by 3 with your blue hardened clay, 1, 2, 3. Place 3 rows of glass going right of the clay, 1 row. Then 2 rows. 3 rows. Do a row of blue hardened clay to the right of that. Do 5 rows of birch wood, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And add those up. Do another row of blue hardened clay. Then 3 more rows of glass, 1, 2, and 3. And 1, oh this is so difficult, 2, and 3. Do an additional row of blue hardened clay. And that is pretty much that. I don't know what else to tell you. That is the front of the house, mostly kinda. I'll show you how to do the rest of it as we progress through the build. Let's move on to the left hand side of the house and come all the way down to the bottom block that hits the ground like this. Take the block that hits the floor and go back from it towards the back of the house by 7 with your birch wood. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go up on top of this 7th block by 3 with your blue hardened clay. 1, 2, 3. Go up on top of the blue hardened clay by 4 with your birch wood. 1, 2, 3, 4. Place a row of 3 blue hardened clay on top of that. 1, 2, and 3. Go left of those last 3 blue hardened clay that you placed by 3 with the glass. 1, 2, and 3. And just add the rows on top of there. The blue stained glass pane really couldn't be too much more awkward. And then place a row of blue hardened clay going left of that, like so. Now, take the bottom row of blue hardened clay, and we want to have a row of 5 glass going left of this. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It might be easier to place it this way. It actually is. It's easier to place it coming towards you. Who would have thunk? So we want to have 5 rows of glass. Then add a row of blue hardened clay onto the end of that. Place a row of birchwood planks directly underneath the window. Extend it to the left by 1. Then extend the row of birch wood that you have extending out of the window upwards by 11. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then do 7 upright diagonals from that block. 1, 2. That took a long time to do. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can then do bottom right diagonals from that birch wood, and this will connect you all the way down to the front of the house. This will form the shape that the roof is going to be, and you know that you've done it correctly if it does connect to the house in a normal fashion, like that. Now, once you've got that sorted out, come all the way down to the block that you extended up by 11, and we have some more to do. Take this 11th block and extend it backwards, or to the left, however you look at it, by 16. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Look back at yourself and take this 16th block and go up on top of it by 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Do 2 up left diagonals. So that's 1, 2. Do 2 bottom left diagonals. 1 and 2. Connect down to the ground, and you can even connect back to yourself like that. Then, looking at the side of this, we want to take the bottom block that hits the floor and go back towards the house by 4 with your birch wood. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Extend that 4th block up by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do a row of birch wood inside of that, going towards the right, and then fill in, and then connect that top block to the back of the house, and then fill in the center of this space with blue stained glass paint. This is a window, like that. Then take this block right here, this bottom block, and extend it coming across the back of the house by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Extend it upwards by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do 4 upper right diagonals. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Do 2 bottom right diagonals. 1, 2, like that. And once you've got that sorted out, we have to create another window. So we actually want to take these 2 blocks right here. It's kind of difficult to explain. Place 2 glass on top of them, and then extend that glass up by 2. 1, 2, and do 1, 2, like this. Then fill in this area using your birch wood planks. You can actually fill in underneath the roof as well to give you this sort of shape right here. You can even fill the back of the building in as well with birchwood planks, like this. And later on, we are going to have a bit of a roof here. Let me show you what the roof will look like. The roof will sit on the outer part of the pyramid that we have created. We once again use our light blue hardened clay. The roof overhangs the back of the house by 1. And we also have to have a roof here in this position also, which, again, also sits 1 block outwards like that. The small roof that we have at the back portion of the house will connect in part to this portion of the house. So it will connect in part like this. So that is the sort of look that you're going for. We will later extend the roof a little bit backwards, but I thought that it might be good to kind of show you guys how this all connects together like it does. Once you've got that sorted out, we now want to come to like where we left off, where we started extending up and making roofs. We want to take the bottom of birchwood plank block and we want to extend it forwards towards where the front of the house is by 3 with the spruce wood planks. That's 1, 2, 3. Raise those up. Extend the left hand and right hand block up each by 3. 1, 2, and 3. And 1, 2, 3. Connect those top blocks together with your spruce wood slabs slash spruce wood planks, and then take the bottom left hand corner spruce wood plank block and extend it coming towards the front of the house by 3 with your birch wood. That's 1, 2, 3. On top of this third block, you want to place a row of blue hardened clay coming up, and you want to do 1, 2, and 3. Then extend each one of those blue clays coming towards the front of the house by 3. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like that. Do a row of birchwood planks directly underneath the window. Extend the glass towards the front of the house with a row of blue hardened clay. I actually forgot about that. Then place another birchwood plank underneath the window, as we kind of did mess that up. Then extend that birchwood plank towards the front of the house by an additional 2 blocks, 1, 2. Then extend it across the back of the house by 1 with your birchwood plank. Then place a row of 5 spruce wood planks going left of this coming across the back of the house. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Add an additional row of slabs on top of that, so 2 spruce wood slabs. Extend the left hand and right hand spruce wood plank blocks up by 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3, like that. This is where a little doorway is going to go. It's going to be made out of primarily blue stained glass pane or blue stained glass block. It's basically just 2 rows of glass, one on the left, one on the right, connected together at the top. That's how it will look. Now, take the bottom left hand corner spruce wood block and extend it left by 11 with your birchwood planks. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then go up on top of this 11th block by, funnily enough, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Go right at that 11th block by 1. Take out your blue hardened clay and go down by 3. 1, 2, 3. Do 3 rows of glass going right of that. 1, 2, and 3. And of course we want to make up the rest of the rows of glass, don't we? So like that. Add an additional row of blue hardened clay on the end of that. Do 3 more rows of glass coming inwards. That's 1, 2, and 3. And we just want to make up these rows like that. And then add another row of blue hardened clay onto the end of that. Have a row of birchwood planks on the end of the row that you've just made. Then do another row of blue hardened clay. Do 3 more rows of glass. That's 1, 2, and 3. And we just want to add 2 more rows on top of this. Add another row of blue hardened clay on the end. And that is what we want to have. We also want to have a window down below. This window is going to sit in the bottom left-hand corner. It's going to sit on top of this block right here, and we want to start with a row of 3 blue clay coming up. That's 1, 2, 3. Do 3 rows of glass to the right of the clay. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Do a row of blue hardened clay to the right. Do 3 more rows of glass. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Do a row of blue hardened clay to the right of that. And that is what the back of the house kind of mostly looks like. You can also connect this birchwood plank block here, this one, right at the top of the back of the house. You can connect it all the way from the left to the right if you so choose. So you can connect to the left from the right. You can even fill in the back of the house now with your birchwood planks. So I would fill it all the way to where the extension comes. So where you have the extension on the back of the house, in this corner, I would fill all of this area in with birchwood planks, and I'd be very tentative when it comes to the corner where the extension is, simply because you want to be able to access the extension, and if you just completely fill in the back of the house, it makes it kind of tricky, doesn't it? So an easy way around this is to extend the light blue hardened clay roof towards where the back of the house is, like this, and have it connect to the house. And wherever it connects, you can obviously see what room you will have inside of the house. So you can connect all of the blue hardened clay to the house, see what is like covered up by the roof and what will be inside the house, and then you can fill in around this, which is exactly what we're going to do. So you just take every single blue hardened clay that you see, you extend it backwards. This even includes the little extension that we have at the back of the house. We have like the big extension, which is, I believe, the kitchen, and the smaller extension, which is, I don't even know. And we extend these towards the house like this. And we just want these last two rows as well. You will find that one of these rows can kind of like keep going towards the front of the house. You'll have to stop it, obviously. It wants to be in line with all of the others. It wants to connect in the same position like this. Then you can kind of see what you have to fill in. So from the inside, it's actually a bit easier. You can see what you have to fill in with your birchwood planks to make all of the glass grip. And you can see what you have to fill in from the inside to see like what would be exposed from the outside. It's easier to do the roofs and then focus on like what the birchwood planks, where the birchwood planks have to go and stuff. So we'll just do this, and let me also show you it from an outside perspective. So if we take a look at that, there we go. You can see that we obviously have to fill in some birchwood planks here. We have to do like a triangular shape with the birchwood planks, and then fill in just above this, like that. That's easy enough. Perfect. So that is the back of the house, more or less, done and dusted. Very, very simple. We'll talk about all of the other little bits later on, but that's it mostly. Come to the right-hand side of the house now, which is, of course, this side. And you want to take this birchwood plank block here at the back corner of the house. You want to extend it towards the front of the house by 7 with your birchwood planks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like that. Go up on top of the 7th block by 3 with the blue hardened clay. 1, 2, 3. Then do a row of 4 birchwood planks coming up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do a row of 3 blue hardened clay. 1, 2, 3. Go left of the blue hardened clay by 3 with the glass. And that is each one of the windows, by the way. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Like this. And down at the bottom. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Like so. Do rows of blue hardened clay on the ends of the glass, and you will once again form windows, like you know and love. So we just want to have that. Now, what we can do is we can, underneath this bottom window, place a row of birchwood planks, and then extend that row of birchwood planks towards the front of the house by 3. 1, 2, 3. Then we have to create an entrance into the garage. I didn't know this existed, but we want to place a row of 3 spruce wood planks coming up. 1, 2, 3. Extend that third block to the left by 2. Connect it down to the ground, like this. Then fill in the side of the entrance using your birchwood planks like that. And as a matter of fact, we actually have to form the side of the house properly. If you take the block directly to the right of this spruce wood door, this birchwood plank block, go up on top of it by 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Not only can you connect it to the front of the house from the left all the way over to the right like this, but you can make the same roof shape that we have over there. So if you take this top plank, do 7 upright diagonals, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you do bottom right diagonals, and you can even leave the filler in there if you like, the birchwood planks, because we'll have to fill it in with that anyway. You'll find that you connect all the way to the back of the house, and you have this nice shape here. What we also want to do is we have to take the garage roof and connect it to where it would connect to the house. Like on the front of the house, we have to connect it in such a way that it connects to the house. You can see here, so it kind of like sits in front of the house. It wants to kind of like look like this. It's the same thing that we did with the extension. So we want to basically add in the roof of the garage, extend it towards the house, and then fill in around the garage a little bit later on. But you guys can see what I'm talking about here. Very, very simple concept. You guys know what I'm saying. You want to have something which should look like that. And that is great. The next big part of this, and it is kind of like a big part, is we have to do two things. We have to fill in the house with birchwood planks, which is what we're going to do, and we have to do the roof. So, filling in the house with birchwood planks is as easy as it sounds. You have some very clear parameters of which to fill in the house. If you take a look at the front of the house, you can see how it connects together nicely. This all wants to be birchwood planks. We've added in all of the detail for the house as we've went along. We've made it easy. It's not hard from this point. Everything that could be difficult has already been done. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. Everything is already sorted. All of the details been added. Everything else is just like, after we've like filled in the house, added the roof, we just have to add some finishing touches. We have to add the chimneys. We have to add the porch. We have to add the driveway. But all of this stuff is incredibly simple. So easy. And a lot of it is going to be kind of like you guys just working on it by yourselves anyway, because like the driveway and stuff, like you can kind of like extend that and add some different things. But that's the front of the house filled in with birchwood planks. I'm also going to fill in the side of the house with birchwood planks. And you know what? Let me show you how the roof's going to look. So, the roof of the house, it sits on the outer part of this giant triangle that we have on the right-hand side of the house, and it sits on the outer triangle that we have on the left-hand side of the house. It's 2 rows of light blue clay, like this, sat on the side of the outer triangle. It wants to overhang the house by 1 row, like this. That's the right hand side. We want to do the same thing all the way over on the left hand side. And that will give us 2 halves of the roof that we simply have to connect together in the middle. It's such an easy roof, guys, you wouldn't believe. I mean, you would believe because obviously you're looking at it now, but you guys get what I'm talking about. Such an easy, simple concept. We have the roof, we connect one side to the other. Literally, as easy as it sounds, one side to the other, like this. The reason that I'm telling you this is because I'm going to now cut out the part of the video where I fill in each individual side of the American Dad house with birchwood planks. I'm also going to cut out the bit where I extend one side of the roof to the other side of the roof. It takes a lot of time, it doesn't have to be in the video, it's extremely simple to do. I'll be back once I've done all of that. Back in a moment. Alright, so just to save out time on the tutorial, I have done exactly what I said I'd do, except you guys won't see it. If you have to, pause the video, do everything that I've done for yourself. It's literally just filling in the sides with birchwood planks and filling in the roof with light blue hardened clay. You might need to pause the video. If you do, hit pause, do exactly what I've done, and then you can pick up exactly where we left off and we can build along together. So once you've got that sorted out for yourself, the next thing we are going to add are chimneys to this build. So we're going to grab hardened clay and stone slabs. We have 2 massive chimneys. chimneys. So the first one is on the front left-hand side of the house. We come down to the bottom front left-hand corner of the house. We move in from this corner and we leave a gap of 3 in the ground. That's 1, 2, 3. We leave a gap of 3. And on the fourth block, we want to do a row of 5 hardened clay coming up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then behind this row of 5 hardened clay, we want to have 2 more rows of hardened clay that come all the way up as high as the roof. Like this, it comes as high as the roof, and then it goes a little further beyond. So we want the chimney to come up a little bit further than the actual roof itself. Have it clear the roof by, say, 2 blocks, like that. Have it clear the roof by about 2 blocks and place a row of stone slab on top of the hardened clay. We also want the chimney to be 2 rows thick, so destroy the roof where necessary, add an additional 2 rows of hardened clay coming inwards to make the roof 3D. The chimney will look exactly like this. That's not the only one. We also want one on the back of the house. If we come to the back of the house, the back right hand corner, at the bottom, we once again leave a gap of 3, like this, and on this fourth block we place a hardened clay and we extend it up by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have the same row of 5. Do 2 rows of hardened clay directly behind this, coming up as high as the roof, as we did on the front. We then want to take the chimney and we want to extend it upwards, and we want it to clear the roof by 2 rows again, so that's 1 row, 2 rows. Throw stone slabs on top, then extend the chimney, coming inwards by 1 row, like this, like that. Throw stone slabs on top, and what you'll have should look exactly like that. So, you have 2 chimneys, same-ish position, except kind of mirrored, 1 on each side. Perfect. Once you've got that sorted out, we can do the next bit. So the next major thing that we have to add to this house is a porch. Come to the bottom front left-hand corner of the house, which is this, right here. We need our stone brick slabs for this. And you want to take this corner and you want to extend it forwards by 3 with your stone brick slabs. It's 1, 2, 3. Take that slab, extend it upwards by 1. Place a row of 3 birchwood fence coming up on top of that stone brick. 1, 2, 3. Place a light blue hardened clay on top of that, and extend that row of light blue hardened clay all the way over to the right like that. Perfect. What you also want to do is you want to do 2 diagonal rows of clay coming backwards above the porch that go from the left to the right. So you want to have 2 additional rows of clay for the porch, like this. So you want to have something which should look like that, right? Like that. So coming upwards diagonally, you want to have those 2 additional rows. I'm sure you guys could have seen that coming. And we also want to have, coming out of the entrance, so this is where the entrance will be, we want to have a solid row of stone slabs. We want to have 2 rows like this. Then we want to take that bottom half row and we want to do 2 rows of stone slabs coming out of the entrance again. 1, 2. So we want to have like 1 row of 2 stone slabs on top of each other, and then 2 rows of single stone slabs. We want to place a stone brick left and right of the last row of stone slabs. We want to place rows of 3 birchwood fence on top of the bricks. 1, 2, and 3. And we want to do 1, 2, and 3, like that. We then want to place stone brick slabs going left and right of these stone bricks to connect to the garage and to the opposite end of the porch. And then fill the inside of the porch in using your stone slabs. So that is what the base of that is going to look like. It's very, very nice. You want to have something which should look like this. I would highly recommend, by the way, lighting the inside of the porch up with something, whatever that is. And it could just be like in a couple of places. It could just be like above the entrance to kind of like lead people into it. Add some sea lanterns, glowstone torches, whatever, into the porch, and everything will be kept nice and light. And that is the structure of the house complete. Like, that's all there is to it. That's the house. However, this house, I think, is quite reliant on, if not the back garden, definitely the front. We have to make the front garden look a little bit nicer. Now, not too much nicer, but definitely a little bit nicer. So, how do we do that? We need ourselves some oak leaves, lime hardened clay, green hardened clay. We need cyan hardened clay. We'll also need our stone brick slabs. We'll need birchwood fence. We'll need all of the colours of the American flag, red, white, and blue. And these are the main materials that we'll be using. So, first things first, we have a collection of bushes between the front right-hand corner of the porch and the garage. It sits inside of these 3 rows. So, make a formation of bushes in kind of like a corner shape, like this. Add a little bit of a formation of bushes, if that makes sense, kind of like here. I'm also going to grab some tall grass, and I'm going to place it around the bushes so you can better see what you have to do. So kind of like in this space between like this stone brick and the front left-hand corner of the garage, we want to have bushes and grass in a formation like that. That's perfect. We also need a path connecting from the porch to the garage. I have opted to have a path that is simply a row of 3, like this. So coming out the front of the porch, it's going to connect to the garage, and it's going to span all the way to the right-hand side of the garage, like this. As I said, the path is 3 blocks wide, so I'm going to make sure that the path is that thick. I think I've actually made it an additional block wide, like that. But I can put the outline in using the cyan hardened clay. This is what the path will look like, or at the very least, the outline is going to look like it. But you guys will be able to see what I'm getting at. So, like, let me see. So it all comes as far as here. Like this. I'll just add the shapes into the ground. And it also wants to come out a little bit as well. Like in front of the garage, we want to have a driveway. So, just to add the shape into the ground, we want to have a driveway which is as thick as the width of the garage using cyan hardened clay. So, you would do the bushes in the porch, and the pathway leading from the garage to the porch, or the porch to the garage, and also add a driveway using cyan hardened clay. That'll be filled in either later or never. That's what you want to have. However, another very important thing that we want to add to the American Dad house is we want to add a flag. Very important. Somewhere out in the front left-hand corner of the garden. You might even want to come to the outer parameters of the garden and count in diagonally, maybe by like 1, 2, 3, and 4. Place a stone brick. That's where the flag's going to sit on top of. Then place a row of birchwood fence on top of that brick. Make sure that it's about as high as the house, if not ever so slightly higher. On top of that last fence, place this sequence of blocks. Red, white, red, blue. Extend each one of those to the right by 1, like that. Then, take the upper red, 1 row behind the red, and to the right, place a white, so in this position. Underneath the white, place a red, white, red. Extend each one of those blocks to the right by 1, like this. Take the upper red block and place a white block to the right and behind that red. Then underneath it, place a red, white, red. There you have an American flag, either blowing in the wind or kind of just loosely hanging in the wind. It's however you want to look at it. So once you've got that sorted out, guys, we have an important thing to do. We kind of have to figure out where we want, how big is the question. How big do we want the front garden and the back garden and the garden in general to be? Because we're going to put a U-shaped layer of spruce wood planks around the entire house. So we've already got this laid out for us. All the way around, on top of the dark green clay outline, we're going to add a layer of spruce wood planks. This is going to tell us how far we're going to come back with the garden. So, I haven't done a massively detailed version of the back garden. It's not that detailed at all. The front garden, however, I think is perfect. So, we're just going to put in the lines for the spruce wood planks, like this. Going all the way around the garden, like this. It's going to kind of like encove it. And that is going to show you where the garden is going to sit in. However, you might want to do the garden a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller. It's up to you. But that sets some very clear standards for where the garden is going to be. One of the notable things to add, on the right hand side of the house, between the entrance here into the garage and this window, halfway in between we want a separating wall of spruce wood. There's just a gate there. There's more of it's a fence. It's not really a gate. It's just a fence there. You might want to add that. It's just factually correct. When it comes to the back of the house, you can kind of do what you like. So on the back of the house, I did very little. But what I did do was I connected the two back... No, that's the wrong material. Where's the cyan hardened clay? I connected the back door. So like where the French door's here, the back door. I connected it to the door extension using cyan hardened clay and some stone slabs. So in the ground, I'm going to have a layer of cyan hardened clay. It would be filled in. I'm not going to do that. And it would be filled in with cyan hardened clay. And then I would place some stone slabs just so that you could get up into the house. So, for instance, so you could get up into the French doors, I'd add something like this. Maybe like that, a nice step. Same sort of thing here with the back door. So like that, so you could get up and down. A massive point of this house is that you will want to add oak leaves around the base of the house. Around the bottom of the windows, add oak leaves. Around the entire house, add oak leaves. Especially around the bottom of the windows. It adds a lot to the house. Add them like they're going out of style. It really does help. Have them climb the house a little bit if you like. It really does make a lot of difference if you have them climb up the side of the house on any given point of the house. If you don't like the effect, then maybe don't add it. It's up to you if you do add it. But I would highly recommend it. They just do make the place look a little bit nicer. You can have them climb the chimney a little bit. You can have them around the front porch. It makes the place look a little bit better. I'd do the same thing on the right-hand side of the house. Leaves, jungle leaves everywhere. Or oakwood leaves. Jungle leaves are actually my favourite, despite the fact that I am using oakwood leaves. But, place them around the house. It'll make things look better, trust me. Just from that simple change, this house looks a little bit more colourful. It looks a bit more interesting. Do the same thing when it comes to the outer walls of the house. So where you place the spruce wood planks, also place oak leaves, jungle leaf, something leaf. It doesn't even have to connect. It can just be a series of bushes. Make sure to add them. Trust me. You won't regret adding the jungle leaves. It'll look nice. I keep saying jungle leaves. Just add the leaves. It'll look nice. Going all the way around the house. The only other notable thing that I added to the house, and there are a couple of things that I missed, like I didn't make a shed, I didn't make a tree house. There's a pool on the back garden. The pool, simply made out of stone slabs. It's kind of like, I made it in just kind of like a random shape, but this is the sort of shape that you're going for. Do it randomly, don't make it a perfect shape. Perfect shapes look a bit boring. You want a pool that is kind of close-ish to the back entrances to the house. You want to still be able to navigate the house, however, and you can make it a pretty decent-sized pool. So, there we have some stone slabs. It might look bad, this might look good, let me see. It's not bad. It's not a bad-looking pool, actually. So something like that that kind of curves around the back of the house, maybe even a little bit bigger. You want to add that to the back of the house. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, the last thing that I want to include for this tutorial. Actually, that's not true, because I do want to tell you two other things that you should do. Add a spruce wood fence going all the way around the top of the outside of the spruce wood planks that you placed earlier. All the way around the top of them. That creates a nicer fence. But I would highly recommend, and this is incredibly boring, trust me, I know. Oh, do I know. Add rows of lime hardened clay and green hardened clay wherever you had grass previously. So, I would make from the front of the house all the way to the back of the house, and you're going to see what this looks like when we come back to my original version. Add rows of green hardened clay and lime hardened clay to form artificial grass. If you don't want to, it doesn't have to be like a perfect pattern of like lime hardened clay, then green hardened clay, lime hardened clay, green hardened clay. You can kind of like mess with the pattern a little bit. So if you don't quite like that pattern, you could have like, if we have this over a couple of rows, you could have like this sort of pattern. I actually went for this on the original version of the American Dad House. Like, you could use this sort of pattern with your lime and your green hardened clay. If you find that one too dense, dark green clay, 2 rows of lime, 1 dark green, 2 rows of lime, etc, etc, repeated towards the front of the house. However, that is the last thing that I wanted to tell you guys. All of the areas that are kind of like coated in cyan hardened clay have to be filled in. Let me show you what the house does look like once you have done all of those things, because I don't want to repeat it to this house, because it did take such a long time. So, this is the tutorial portion of this video done, guys. Let me show you the original version and we can get out of here. So, we are back here at the original version of the American Dad House, and I just want to show you what it looks like if you follow my advice and do what I suggested you should do. So, if you turn the entire grassy area of the house into artificial grass, it looks a little bit nicer. This is the pattern where we have 1 row of dark green, 2 rows of lime, dark green, lime, etc, etc, going towards the back of the house. As you can see, that's a lot of rows that had to be destroyed and remade. Very, very big job, but well worth it in the end. I think that it looks a lot better. It works very nicely with the house. We also have the pool. As you can see, this one is actually built into the ground. I wish it was extended upwards. I wish it wasn't built into the ground. I wish they actually sat upwards, but similar shape, looks great. Here we have the back entrance. This is filled in with cyan, as I suggested. We have leaves going all the way around the house. We have the fence going around the house as well. We have the pathway filled in as well. There's not much that we didn't do. It's just that if I wanted to do all of the rest of it on or off recording, it would take such a great amount of time that I didn't want to invest that into the video. I'm sure that you guys will manage to do the rest no problem. I've given you everything you need to complete it. And that means that this tutorial is now complete. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed this one. I really hope that you do, because I put a lot of work into this house. I hope that you guys enjoy it. If you did, please do smack that like button. I'd really, really appreciate that. I honestly would. If you do like the video, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you subscribe, click the little bell next to the subscription button to ensure that you get all my videos sent directly to your sub box. But also say hello down there in the comment section. And whilst we're talking about the comments, the reason that I said it at the start of the video, the reason that I said what I said at the start of the video was because I really want to make some more cartoon-related houses, but I'll say it again now. If you have any suggestions for some more cartoon-related builds, please do let me know down there in the comment section. I would be really interested to see what you guys want to see me make next. Please do let me know down there in the comment section. I'm very interested. Or any suggestions in general. I won't turn any suggestions away. I just might not make the stuff. It depends. Please do also check out the rest of the channel if you're interested. So this is a cartoon related house. I haven't made that many of these. However, funnily enough, I've also made the Planet Express from Futurama roughly in the same place in my design world, except on a different row. That was completely coincidental, but check out the card system if you want to make some more cartoon-related builds. But if you do want to make some more house-related builds, so if you wanted to make some houses, I actually don't have very many in this world. Actually, I do, but if you wanted to make some more like survival-related builds, then check out the survival-related playlist. If you wanted to make some city-related builds, like a swimming center, then check out the city builds playlist. If you wanted to make some suburban houses, you guys have seen a trend here, then check out the suburban house playlist. If you wanted to make some townhouses, this is kind of city build, check out the city builds playlist. It keeps going on and on and on. I have loads of wooden houses, modern houses. I have all sorts of stuff on the channel. Please check it out.